Hello everyone, my name is Bailey and if you're subscribed, that's wonderful. Today we are going to make a different kind of video because today is 9th of April of 2021, which means that the Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, has died. So I have asked a few people that if they can give me some advice or some comments about what is happening, and here they are. The first one will be Karen.
I'm from Bournemouth. Well, Prince Philip, who is the Queen's consort, so he's never been king, he's been the Queen's consort, has died today at the age of 99.
This morning, my wife told me, have you heard the news? It's important. Prince Philip has died. I said, wow.
My name is Erin Galvin and I'm from North London. I don't know if I speak for many people, but I just feel a bit indifferent about the royal family. So I think it's really sad to hear of Prince Philip's passing, but at the same time, he did make it to 99, which is quite an achievement in itself.
Hi, my name is George Galvin. I'm 24 years old and I live in North London. I was born here, but I have family that's also from Ireland. I sat on the sofa here earlier this afternoon and it was my partner that told me. I think she got a Sky News notification, wasn't it? Yeah, and a BBC one saying breaking news, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, has sadly passed away.
You know, if you've watched The Crown, you will see in the 1950s the Queen's, the crown and everything, the monarchy was a very different thing to what it is now. He was our link to the past, and so is the Queen. And now we're a modern day station. Do we need morning music on the radio because the head of state has died? I don't think so, but I think a lot of stations are playing it. When the Queen Mother died, she was laid in state and people went round and paid their respects. That probably won't happen now because of COVID. It's very different. When Princess Diana died, that was something that affected me because she was nearly my age. That was just a funeral. We didn't have a big deal, a big morning on the radio and everything. I know we had lots of news because it was a shock, because it was it was a car crash, but this is an old man. Very lucky old man. He's got to 99,
Well, he was ill. He had a car accident not long ago. So I think that he still had some illness, some hurtness on his body. And the long age. Also, maybe he was contaminated with China virus. You don't know. And also his age. He was 99 years old. So it was a great pity. But then again, in times of mourning, in times of harshness, well, you have to be straight, stand up straight.
I've been out in London today. It doesn't seem too different. I know that we're all in lockdown at the moment, so there's not much going on, but I think further into the city, there's a lot of mourning and people laying flowers and whatnot. But yeah, aside from that, it doesn't seem too big news. I mean, it's on the radio and I know on the news, but yeah, just like when anyone passes, it's just quite a sad time. But yeah, I'm sure there's members of my family that are feeling the effects more than I am, as maybe someone from the younger generation.
I was a bit shocked because he seemed like he was going to go on forever. Many a time he was in hospital for car crashes or on some kind of support machine, and then he always kind of came out of it. So when it finally happened, it was a bit of a oh geez, he's gone. So yeah, it was pretty shocking.
I think the monarchy has taken a massive hit with the Harry and Meghan saga, and this will either make or break it now with Prince Philip going, because the Queen and up until last year was a very active royal participant, and with COVID that sort of stopped all that, and at least COVID has given her a year with her husband, which was lovely. But yes, I don't think the monarchy will definitely change. I think off that, I don't see the Queen coming back into full-time thing, and Prince Charles is 70 odd years old. He's not going to up to full speed, so I think it's going to be William and Kate fairly soon.
If I'm being perfectly honest, it was pretty much like a normal day. I was in the city around Holborn just doing a few things, and I didn't see any real change. But then at the same time, it's kind of too soon. And given the lockdown restrictions and COVID and things, I think it'd probably be a bit too early to see mass gatherings, if you like. But I'm sure there's probably been something outside Buckingham Palace. I've seen on the news that a few people were laying wreaths and flowers and flags at Windsor Castle. So I can imagine that there will certainly be a response.
My thoughts are for Her Majesty the Queen, because Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, was Her Majesty's husband and partner for over 70 years. And both of them stand as an example for society, for the love of the country, the love of the nation, and the love of fashion and things that went on. Because the Queen was made Queen, I think, in 1950 something, and she has been ruling the nation, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and the rest of the colonies and Commonwealth and overseas territories, etc., etc. In all the times. One of the times I think she liked more was the 60s, when fashion passed from being dark grey and black and white to colourful. And the Beatles were given the MBE, the knighthood. So it was a great surprise, because before that, only war heroes were given the knighthood. And a lot of people protested, but there were more people happy to see the Beatles receiving that. And every time, everywhere, Prince Philip was there behind the Majesty of the Queen, because that's what the protocol establishes. But on their private environment, there were a couple, a lovely couple. Prince Philip used to call Her Majesty, Elizabeth, Lissy. She says, Lissy, come here. Lissy, go here. Hello, Lissy. And that is very nice. Besides that, in England, we lived very near Windsor. We lived about 5 miles from Windsor. And between Windsor and our house, Sunningdale, and in Ascot and in Sunningdale, you had a great big park. I think it's called the Royal Windsor Park. And in that park, you play polo. But it's a park where you can go. So we often used to go there, not only to see polo, but to go to the park. And it wasn't unusual to see Prince Philip and Prince Charles playing polo. And of course, the Queen and the royal family and the court were there also watching the game. And they were very nice people. They were not, how would you call, egocentric. I'm the king, I'm the queen, you should kneel beyond me. No, the royals were very nice. Every time you said hello or you waved to them, they waved back with a smile. The remembrance I have of the royal family were always together. You never saw, they should have had, but you never saw the Queen or Prince Philip angry between themselves. It wasn't the case. And of course, he will be missed as one of the columns of that great nation that is England. Or how a friend of mine told me, no, we don't say England anymore, we say United Kingdom, which is correct.
In all honesty, the most I know about him will be from watching The Crown lately, the Netflix series. And that's why I don't know if it's a younger generation thing. But of course, I've always seen him growing up, but he's always just been next to the Queen without sounding crude. But you know what I mean? He's always just been somebody that's there as a royal figure. But I don't really know too much about him. And then I watched The Crown and maybe didn't get the best accurate representation, but yeah.
Well, you have to see the health of Her Majesty. Because years ago, when the Queen Mother was alive, Prince Margaret, the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth, was very ill. She was in a wheelchair. But the Queen Mother, she was very stiff. She had a good health. And she died, Princess Margaret. And I said, oh, this may cause a problem. And I think the Queen Mother was 101 years old. And shortly after, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months later, Queen Mother died because of sadness or I don't know. So in this case, Prince Philip died. Her Majesty, she's like 87, I think, at this time. So if she wants, I think, or God Almighty wants, she'll be reigning us for many, many more years. We want her to rule another 100 years. If that is so, Prince Charles would become King of England, and the national anthem now will be, instead of God Save Our Gracious Queen, it would be God Save Our Gracious King. For 3 generations at least, Prince Charles, Prince William, and Prince George. So far, we would have a queen for 3 generations at least. Gatherings are not allowed because of the virus, but I heard and I seen some people placing flowers in Buckingham Palace. They say the people of Windsor and surroundings, which is us, people of Berkshire, the county of Berkshire, we respect and we love and we honor the royal family. Not so much in London when they are criticized. If they're doing good, they're criticized because they should do better. And if they're not doing good, they're criticized because they're not doing good. I am sure that a lot of people are grieving, mourning, not so much as Lady Diana, because Lady Diana was known as the Queen of the people, but a lot of people are going to be very sad.
So I believe that Prince Philip served in World War II. He was an officer in the Navy, and a part of it, I believe he was based in the Pacific. But most notably, I understand that he was Captain General, so the ceremonial figurehead of the Royal Marines for the best part, I think it was 64 years and 202 days, which to hold that position in itself is a huge achievement. So I'm sure in a wake of his passing that the Royal Marines will have a very big role to play, certainly at his funeral and in paying respects to him. Towards the end of World War II, I believe he was based in the Pacific off the Japanese coast with the American fleet and formed a task group there. And then after World War II, like I say, he became the ceremonial figurehead, or as it's specifically called, the Captain General of the Royal Marines. So he'll be the highest ranking Royal Marine officer, but strictly for ceremonial purposes. And he held that position, I think, up until 3 or 4 years ago. And like I say, it was for a time period of 64 years before it passed to Prince Harry, who then gave the role to, I believe, Princess Anne. So yeah, he's quite an achievement.
My deepest sympathies to the Queen.
My condolences obviously go out to the Queen, and I hope that she remains strong. I mean, they've been married for, I don't even know,
73 years.
73 years, that's a huge amount of time. So I hope that she can remain strong for the remainder of her, time as the monarch, as the Queen. And most of all, it's thoughts really go to her and her family now.
The audience around the world, I would love you if you subscribe to this very nice and very witty journalist.
That has been everything for today. My sincerely condolences to the royal family. I know that they will not see this, but at least I would like to tell them that it's really sad for all of us. Thank you very much for watching this video. Leave your comments, good comments please, and share this video if you feel that is accordance. Bye!